The movie opens at a secluded lakeside house at sunset. While Emily is fast asleep, her husband James sits by the fireplace, visibly disturbed, downing drink after drink. He suddenly gets up, grabs a heavy iron poker, and walks into the bathroom. Woken up by the noise, Emily goes to check on him and finds James violently smashing his own head into the mirror. Terrified, she asks what on earth he's doing. James coldly replies that he's doing what he should have done a long time ago, before turning around and swinging the poker straight at her. Sometime later, we're introduced to Adam and Lisa, a happy couple expecting their first child. Adam just landed a job as a math professor at a local university, complete with a high salary and a gorgeous new home. Even though living out in the countryside isn't really Adam's style, the pay bump and sweet perks are too good to pass up, so they make the move. When they pull up to the house, they spot a student named David trimming the bushes. Turns out the university pays him to maintain the surrounding yards. David warmly welcomes them, reassuring the couple that the neighborhood is so safe people rarely even lock their front doors. Before heading off, he mentions that someone left a welcome gift for them inside. Stepping into their new home, Adam and Lisa are instantly in love with the place. They check out the gift, which turns out to be from Lisa's sister, Becky. Inside is a strange wooden container known as a fertility box, designed to be impossible to open. Right off the bat, we learn that Adam has never really gotten along with Becky due to her loud, outspoken personality, and the feeling is pretty mutual. As they tour the rest of the house, they inspect the bedroom and the nursery. Lisa breaks down, overwhelmed by the fear that she won't be a good mother. But Adam comforts her, assuring her she's going to do great. Spotting an old crib already sitting in the room, Adam tries moving it, but decides it's too heavy. Before leaving for his first day at work, he makes Lisa promise not to lift anything heavy while he's gone. Once Adam leaves, Lisa can't resist messing around with Becky's fertility box. Adam was convinced it couldn't be opened, but with a little effort, the lock gives way. Surprisingly, it's completely empty. Puzzled, Lisa sets the strange box on the mantelpiece. Meanwhile, over at the university, Adam finishes teaching his first lecture. On his way out, he bumps into Dr. Clark, a parapsychology professor who was observing his class. As a strict man of science, Adam immediately scoffs at supernatural stuff, but Clark casually mentions that the students eat it up. Back at the house, Lisa completely ignores Adam's warning. She throws herself into fixing up the nursery, puts the crib together, sets up the toys, and then heads out for a jog in the nearby woods. During her run, Lisa stumbles upon a panicked, injured woman hiding in the trees. It's Emily from the opening scene. Emily is hysterical, babbling that she's sick and that she lost her baby. The moment she spots Lisa's pregnant belly, Emily turns unhinged. She creeps up to Lisa, warning her that she's sick too, that people are going to fear her, and that she shouldn't bother protecting the baby because it's not hers anymore. Terrified out of her mind, Lisa sprints back home and calls Adam in a panic. He offers to rush home right away, but Lisa tries to calm down and tells him she's fine. Later that evening, while unwinding with a book by the fireplace, Lisa notices something deeply unsettling about a painting of a mother and her children hanging on the wall. But what she fails to notice is the horrifying shadow lurking right outside the window, watching her every move. At that moment, someone knocks on the front door. The young woman goes to answer it, but when she opens the door, no one is there. Moments later, Lisa hears a baby crying along with soft lullaby music coming from the nursery. Curious, she walks inside and sees a beautiful little girl lying peacefully in the crib. Smiling, Lisa gently picks her up. But the moment she looks at the child's face, it suddenly twists into something horrifying and inhuman. Terrified, Lisa screams in fear. Later that day, Adam comes home, but can't find Lisa anywhere. He searches the house until he reaches the nursery, where he finds her collapsed on the floor. Tragically, Lisa has suffered a miscarriage. She is rushed to the hospital, where the doctor delivers heartbreaking news. Their baby is gone, and because of the complications, Lisa will never be able to have children again. The doctor explains that the miscarriage was likely caused by lifting something heavy, but there's one problem with that explanation. The crib was far too heavy for Lisa to move by herself. Completely devastated, Adam stays by Lisa's side. Fighting back his own grief, he comforts her and says that from now on, they have to stay strong for each other. Just then, Becky arrives to stay with them for a few days and helps Lisa recover. In a single day, their happy life has completely fallen apart. After Lisa is discharged from the hospital, they return home, where David is working on renovations. Becky immediately starts flirting with him, but Adam quickly reminds her that David is just a college student. Later, while Lisa's taking a shower, strange things begin happening inside the house. The word mom slowly appears on the steamed-up bathroom mirror, but Lisa never notices it. At the same time, David is cleaning the nursery when he discovers the mysterious fertility box. He asks Lisa why it's there, but she's confused because she clearly remembers leaving it in the living room. That night, Adam wakes up and finds Lisa standing silently in front of the fireplace, staring at the old painting. She tells him something is changing. The children in the painting are now looking directly at their mother, even though they weren't before. Adam brushes it off, believing Lisa is simply overwhelmed by grief and emotional trauma. The next day, Adam meets Dr. Clark, who offers his condolences and encourages him to stay strong during this difficult time. Meanwhile, back at the house, Lisa and Becky are meditating when Lisa suddenly hears footsteps coming from upstairs. Becky hears absolutely nothing. Lisa asks her to check the kitchen while she goes upstairs to investigate. As Lisa reaches the nursery, she notices a toy on the floor. Then she freezes. Sitting inside the crib is a little girl with completely black eyes, staring straight at her while softly whispering, "Mommy." Horrified, Lisa runs out of the room. Becky rushes in with her, but when they return to the nursery, the little girl has vanished without a trace. Lisa insists she really saw her, but Becky isn't convinced. That evening, Adam returns home, and Lisa tells him that something is terribly wrong with the house. Adam blames everything on the emotional stress she's been carrying. He even suggests that if she hadn't tried to lift the crib, none of this would have happened. The following day, Adam takes Lisa back to the doctor. After examining her, the doctor says she is physically healthy, but emotionally she's still grieving and simply needs time to heal. When they return home, Adam asks David to help clear out the nursery so there will be nothing left to remind Lisa of their loss. But that night, as heavy rain pours outside, something unseen slips into their bedroom and slowly pulls the blanket off the bed. Lisa suddenly wakes up and sees a little girl silently calling her to follow. Terrified, she immediately wakes Adam, and the two of them search the entire house, but they find nothing. Soon, Adam starts experiencing terrifying visions of his own. First, he sees David and Becky getting intimate outside, but they disappear the moment he looks again. A little later, he catches another brief glimpse of Becky standing in their bedroom before she vanishes like a hallucination. Now even Adam has no idea what's real anymore. The next morning, Adam casually asks Lisa how much longer Becky plans to stay, but Lisa ignores the question. Instead, she's completely focused on a university catalog, reading about Dr. Clark, the area's most respected paranormal researcher. Convinced that the strange events are beyond explanation, Lisa urges Adam to speak with him. Wanting to ease her fears, Adam finally agrees. While meeting Dr. Clark at work, Adam explains that Lisa believes their house is haunted. Clark finds that surprising because several professors have lived there before without experiencing anything unusual. Even so, he agrees to visit the house the following day. Meanwhile, Becky faces something far more horrifying. As she stands in front of a mirror, she notices her reflection moving differently from her. When she steps closer, the reflection suddenly slams its own head into the glass, and at the same moment, Becky is violently injured. Hearing the crash, Lisa rushes upstairs and finds Becky locked inside the bathroom. Lisa asks if she's okay, but Becky insists everything is fine, hiding the terrifying truth that her reflection is threatening her. Confused, Lisa walks away. Shaken to her core, Becky quietly packs her belongings that night and leaves the house while Lisa is asleep. When Adam comes home, Lisa is heartbroken to learn Becky left without saying goodbye, leaving behind only a short note. Adam tries to comfort her, saying that's just how Becky is, but Lisa can't shake the uneasy feeling. He reminds her that Dr. Clark will be visiting the next day. The following morning, Dr. Clark arrives with David. After greeting Lisa, he calmly tells her he doesn't believe the house itself is haunted. When Lisa asks how he can be so certain, Clark explains that he can sense things other people can't. According to him, whatever is happening isn't connected to the house at all. It's connected to Lisa. Clark then walks over to the fireplace mantel and places his hand on the mysterious box. The instant he touches it, he realizes the box is the source of everything. Adam can't believe an ordinary empty box could be responsible for all the terrifying events. But Clark reminds him of one important detail. Adam couldn't open the box, while Lisa could, and opening it came with a terrible price: the loss of their child. Adam dismisses the entire explanation as nonsense and orders Clark to leave. He says he only invited him to calm Lisa down, not to fill her mind with bizarre supernatural theories. As he walks out, Clark gives one final warning. Stop trying to explain everything with logic. Furious, Adam ignores the warning and throws him out of the house. Lisa is visibly shaken because Dr. Clark's bizarre theories are starting to make total sense to her. Adam, still refusing to accept it and furious at the situation, grabs the fertility box and hurls it outside, leaving Lisa completely stunned. Later on, while taking a shower, Adam gets a brutal reality check. Through the steam, he spots a young woman standing in the bathroom, slowly creeping toward him. As he watches in pure terror, her face rapidly ages, transforming into a withered old woman right before his eyes. Panic-stricken, Adam bolts out of the room. He grabs a baseball bat and rushes back in, only to find the bathroom completely empty. Lisa walks in right after and instantly realizes from the look on his face that he finally saw something, too. A shaken Adam mutters that he sees two different women. Still unhinged from her own experiences, Lisa anxiously asks if he hurt them. A weirdly defensive question that even catches her off guard. At this point, Adam finally accepts that Dr. Clark was right all along. Terrified, he suggests they pack up and abandon the house immediately. But Lisa reminds him of Clark's grim warning. The house isn't the problem. The box is. And no matter where they run, it will follow them. Realizing they're out of options, they call Dr. Clark back over to the house, with Adam now fully on board. Clark sets up his paranormal equipment and breaks down what they're dealing with. He explains that this specific fertility box can only be opened by a pregnant woman, and its sole purpose is to act as a prison for evil spirits. The moment Lisa opened it, she unknowingly set those spirits free. To force them back inside, they need to figure out who these entities are and what they actually want. A grieving Lisa asks why the entities targeted her baby. Clark pulls up his research and reveals the box's history, pointing to a past case involving a man named James, whose wife also owned the exact same box. When Clark shows them a picture from the file, Lisa immediately recognizes the woman. It's Emily, the erratic stranger she met in the woods. Clark drops another bombshell. Emily was murdered by her husband 2 years ago. To catch more evidence, Dr. Clark sets up audio monitors all over the house. It doesn't take long before the receivers pick up something horrifying coming from the nursery. A faint, eerie child's voice repeatedly chanting, "Mama!" Terrified, Lisa asks the speaker what the spirit wants. Through the static, the spirit gives a chilling answer. It wants life and death. When Clark asks the voice to identify itself, the spirit responds with "Little Lisa," the exact name Lisa had picked out for her unborn baby. The room goes dead silent. Before anyone can process the shock, every single light bulb in the house shatters into pieces, leaving them in darkness as a child's creepy laughter echoes through the room. Clark desperately asks how to seal the spirit back in the box, but right on cue, a little girl manifests right behind him. She whispers that nothing he tries is going to work and vanishes into thin air. Moments later, Clark is overcome by a sudden wave of dizziness as the monitor screen in front of him starts glowing violently. He pulls off his glasses and what he sees leaves him speechless. 4 women sitting side by side. They're the exact same spectral figures Lisa and Adam had been seeing, and terrifyingly, Lisa herself is sitting right among them. In a flash, all of their eyes turn pitch black before Clark snaps back to reality. He breaks the news to the couple. The entity inside the box didn't just take their baby's life. It literally hijacked the unborn child's soul. When Adam asks how they can trap it again, Clark admits he has no idea yet, warning them that the entity is gaining strength by the minute. David suggests they pack up and move somewhere safe, but Clark shuts that down fast. The entity is spiritually bound to Lisa. It will hunt her down no matter where she goes. Desperate for a way out, Lisa remembers James, the husband from the beginning of the film and the only person known to have ever closed the box. The next day, Lisa and Adam head to the prison to confront James. After hearing their story, James asks a specific question. How many forms of the entity have they seen? They tell him Lisa saw a little girl and a teenager, while Adam saw a young woman and an old woman. James then asks if there was any physical contact, and Adam confirms there was. James breaks down the horrific mechanics of the curse. When the entity is weak, only the mother can see it. But as it feeds and grows stronger, others start seeing it too. Every single form they've encountered, from the little girl to the elderly woman, is actually a different stage of their daughter's stolen life. He warns them that the entity will soon turn violent, killing anyone who gets in its way. When Lisa asks how to put an end to it, James drops a devastating bombshell. Only Lisa can stop it. He warns her that the entity will trick her into protecting it like her own child. But she has to realize that she is the real vessel. James reveals the horrifying truth behind his own past. The only reason he murdered his wife was to force the entity back into the box. If the mother dies, the entity loses its anchor and is dragged back into its prison. He explains that while the entity is bound to Lisa and can't physically harm her, Lisa has the power to destroy it. On the drive back home, a horrified Adam refuses to accept James's sinister advice, swearing to Lisa that they'll find another way to survive. Lisa tries to make Adam realize that they're past the point of saving. If he doesn't stop her, the entity will murder him, and Emily's cryptic warnings finally make horrific sense. But before they can finish the conversation, the entity violently attacks Adam, causing their car to crash. Later that night, Adam regains consciousness in the wreckage, only to find the passenger seat empty. In a sheer panic, he crawls out and rushes back home to find his wife. Inside the house, the entity begins playing cruel mind games with him, shape-shifting between the forms of Lisa's sister, Becky, and their theoretical daughter as it creeps closer. Adam manages to break away and bolts upstairs. Passing a mirror, he catches a glimpse of his reflection, horribly warped, and in a fit of rage and terror, he smashes the glass. Looking out the window, he spots what looks like Lisa and David in an intimate embrace by the truck. Furious, Adam charges outside, only to realize it was another illusion. He finds David's lifeless body lying on the ground. Adam runs back into the house and finds Lisa standing by the fireplace, staring blankly at the distorted painting. She tells him that when Emily died, part of her soul was pulled straight into the box. Lisa admits it's already too late. She now views the entity as her real daughter, and her maternal instinct is forcing her to protect it at all costs. Without hesitation, she drives a knife right into Adam's stomach. Bleeding out, Adam forces himself to his feet to pursue his wife. Suddenly, the entity in the form of the withered old woman leaps out and attacks him. In a desperate fight for his life, Adam grabs the fertility box and smashes it across her face, causing the creature to shriek in pain before driving the iron poker straight through her. As the illusion shatters, a horrified Adam realizes he didn't strike the monster. He just impales Lisa. In shock, he drops to his knees. A dying Lisa holds out the knife to him, weeping and begging him to take her life to break the curse once and for all. The entity manifests beside them, desperately begging him to stop. But through his tears, Adam makes the agonizing decision to finish it. The moment Lisa takes her last breath, the entity is violently dragged back into the fertility box, sealing it shut once more. Fast forward a bit, and Adam is sitting in a prison cell, taking the fall for the murders of Lisa and David. The police framed it as a classic crime of passion, believing Lisa was having an affair with David, and that Adam killed them both in a jealous rage. Dr. Clark pays Adam a visit in jail and asks what happened to the box, since the authorities never found it at the house. Adam calmly tells him not to worry. He sends it back to where it all began. The scene cuts to Lisa's sister, Becky, who is now pregnant. A delivery arrives at her doorstep. Adam mailed the box straight to her. Whether Becky opens it or leaves it sealed is left completely up in the air. And that's where the movie ends. Let me know your thoughts and subscribe to this channel for more.